Hi there, Mark Russick's my name. Thanks for joining me. This is my painting titled Floral Tribute. And so essentially what it is, it's a picture of, my parent working hard in the garden. And it's a way for me, using the flowers, using the florals, to communicate a certain appreciation and an honouring of my mother and my parents. And so maybe deep down you have wanted to show a certain honor to your parents, but maybe you've never told them, you've never shared how you really feel. Or maybe, I know myself, I've had to work through a lot of things and build a lot of bridges with my parents because at times we haven't seen eye to eye. But it is a beautiful experience when you're able to express a certain tribute. Anyway, that's my take on it. And I have actually encoded a few things in this painting, symbolically speaking of how we can build those bridges with our parents and honor them and make them feel great. And so stay with me now, and I'm just going to share certain things within the symbolism of my painting that will show you how to do that. So let me start talking about tribute. The first point I want to make is we should give tribute where tribute is due. And if you look at my mother here, she's working hard in her garden, and it's really a picture of, it's a symbol of the hard work that she put in, not just sweeping her garden, but her entire life. I look at the life of my parents. I can certainly look at a lot of things that they've done. If not, in many ways, they've wholly spent themselves, committing themselves to be responsible parents. I mean, I know that there's been a lot of shortcoming there. Certainly has been shortcomings, but deep down I know that there's always been that intent. And so, the first, I think we got to recognize that that sacrifice, that commitment that they made to raise us up. Now, I know for a fact that, in my life, one of my parents particularly, I would say, was not exactly the model parent. And maybe in your life, you have had an experience where you may have felt incredibly let down by your parents, if not rejected or discarded. I mean, there's a wide spectrum. But even if we were born and we were left, all alone, which would be incredibly sad, the truth is we still were born into the world and given an opportunity to have this life. So I just feel the first point is give tribute where tribute is due. And do we recognize what they've done in terms of the bigger picture? I tell you what, it's going to put a lot more energy into our Mother's Day or Father's Day time. But that's tokenistic, I think. The way it should be is that we really are in communion with them all the time. And certainly with me, I'm in touch with my mum and dad almost every day till this day. It's incredible. But I always give a call, and it's just a beautiful thing. So that's point number one, tribute. Okay, tribute number point two. Okay. And you can see the big flower pot right up front. And obviously the path leads to the parent at the end. But the starting point is this big flower pot with lots of flowers. It really is like toasting, at a dinner party. We toast each other. We say cheers, and we recognize, we celebrate together. And that's what this is doing. It's a celebratory bouquet, a flower pot full of brimming with life and flowers, the beauty of those flowers, all symbols of, the incredible sense of gratitude that we have towards our parents. And point I want to make here is that, our tribute is, I know that there are seasons where we may have been let down by our parents. It may not all have been rosy, a bed of roses, but we need to understand it isn't static, but it is dynamic, and there's transits. It's a transitory, it's a transitioning all the time. But the sorry, I'm probably losing it there, but the main point is that they deserve our tribute because they have tried. Our parents have tried. Even if they've tried badly, they still have tried to some extent. And I'd say for the most part, most parents absolutely try, but they may fail to really be the model parent. And I know and understand that because I'm a parent now, and I know how many times I've failed in trying to raise my kids and be a great father to them. And but the beauty is you keep going and you keep trying. And so giving tribute so important because it will encourage your parent to keep going. It will encourage your parent to try and improve, and things will only get better that way. The other way is we become hardened and our expectations soar, and we say you're not good enough, and we get into a fight, and we distance ourselves from each other, which isn't the way to go. So many families are crumbling right now. There's so much animosity and bitterness, but things can be better if we have empathy, if we have that understanding. So I hope that speaks to you. It's never too late to change our mind and have a fresh start. Why not consider that? Okay, tribute number 3. Can you see those vibrant colours of that I've shown there on the path? The juxtaposition of the flowers amongst themselves and the path itself. And I'm really trying to create a vibrant, energetic painting that really captures your eyes and allows you to feast on the meaning as well. And one of the points there is, can you see how there's not just one shade of one colour, but there are many shades? You've heard the cliche, there are many shades of grey. It's not just black and white, but there are many shades of grey. And I think one of the ways we can have empathy with our parents and really give them an honouring tribute and is to recognise how hard it is to be a parent and how we can be too rigid in our expectation. And we need to gain a much greater appreciation from where they've come from and how they grew up and how tough it was for them. And when we understand some of those things, I think it will really help us to overlook a lot of the mistakes and the shortcomings that we may see. And even if we have fantastic parents that have been the best they can be, we'll still see fault. And it's just the way it is. We're all fallen human beings. We all make mistakes. And so, but it's understanding there's many shades of grey. There are, we need to be more accommodating, gracious, and overlook things that went even drastically wrong. Today I can do that. I can honestly say I can laugh at some of the things that went terribly wrong. There still may be some pain deep down, but there's been a healing, and I no longer, hold on to any grudges or anything like that. And it's been a long while like that. And it's a good feeling when you do that, so that you really can honour them truly from the heart, and you're in a good place to do it. And it's just wonderful, because that's when you receive from them too. When your hearts are knitted together, you're able to really have a great friend in your parents. That's where it goes. That's the ultimate goal. My parent's not my enemy. My parent is my friend. So, as I mentioned, the ultimate goal is to have our parent as our friend, because the primary role of a parent is to nurture and support and to equip us so that we can be ready for life. And not just ready for life, but beyond that, once you mature and once you are a parent yourself, it's just wonderful to have them in the background as ones that have lived life far in advance of yourself, so many more years, and there's so much that they can input, that they can give into your life if you're connected, and that's why tribute's so important, honoring so important. You have that heart connection with them so you can receive from them, and it can be a mutual supporting thing that goes on. It's reciprocal. But anyway, why the clouds here? Why am I showing the clouds? And they're very expressionistic. They've got all the brush strokes there too. It's an oil painting. Um, it's really to show that we want to make them our covering. We want to give them that license to be over us, and allow them to speak into our lives, because that's a blessing, you know. But you may have come from an abusive home. You may not be able to get close to your parents. I understand that. Uh, maybe just working things out and getting on the sitting at the drawing board and talking about stuff and finding forgiveness and healing. There's a long journey before we can be close and intimate as friends. But I think that's a destination that we're after. We've got to start somewhere, and ideally we start today. So remember the clouds. So the final point is the sun is rising. The sun is rising in this picture. So it really speaks of a healing. To be honest, the book of Malachi in the Bible says the Son of Righteousness will rise with healing in his wings. And then it talks about dancing like calves, and, as a sign of freedom and a sign of joy. You see, uh, I I would say that probably one of the people that hurt us the most in life are usually our parents, because we're so close to them, we're born with them, we're with them every day. Usually, if things go as per normal, but if they're pear shaped and really bad things happen, people are abused and, all kinds of things, we get people can get especially hurt, you know, and, and I don't want to live in denial of that pain and say, oh, everything can just be smoothed over. It's all good. Just forgive. Some of those things, those woundings are very, very deep. But I believe it is possible, when we set our hearts on honoring and forgiving, we will be free. Because if we don't forgive, we live in bitterness, we hurt ourselves. Bitterness actually beats us up inside. It's like a boxing match. We get beaten up when we're bitter. It's no good for us. But when we choose to say, I do want to work things out with my parents, it may take a long time. It's a long journey. And if you look at the picture, it's like a question mark there. We may question, you know, um, how am I ever going to do that? And that's what I had to do. I had to work things out, particularly with one of my parents. Um, and it took a long time. But I'll tell you what, today we are the best of friends, and I can accept them the way they are. And I love both of my parents so much, and I want to, this video is a tribute to them. This painting is a tribute to them, and I trust you caught my heart through listening. We can get to the other side if we believe. that the sun is rising, and it can rise to the full height, noonday sun. There can be a real closure on issues, and not just a closure, but a beautiful company that results in having worked through things, and it's so worth it. So I hope you hear my heart. Go for it. Don't just give a tribute on Mother's Day, Father's Day. Make it a lifestyle where you talk highly of your parents, where you really honor them, and I think good things will come. Thanks for listening. Hope this painting really blesses your socks off.
Anyway,
so
thanks for
hope
listening,
you really enjoyed
and
this,
I hope you've enjoyed the
video,
painting and
where I've
that
tried
deeper
to
meaning. I
explain
love
symbolism
seeing paintings that
my painting
speak.
And I hope
so
that,
do contact me if you have any
you can see that
queries
it's
or
more than just a pretty picture.
thoughts, or maybe
but
you
it's
want me
something
to
that goes
paint a
very
painting for
deep,
you.
because
Let me know.
I believe,
check out my website. There's quite a few different things that I'm
paintings
doing. I'm
should
actually
speak
an
to you.
artist, author, and a speaker.
It's not enough to
Thank
have
you
a
for your
pretty
time.
picture.
Bye for
But
now.
it's great when there's a
Anyway,
depth
thanks
of
for listening,
communication,
and I hope you've
and the
enjoyed the
painting can
painting
come alive,
and that deeper meaning. I
and
love
you
seeing
can
paintings that
take away not just the
speak.
painting,
And
but
so
a piece
do
of the
contact me
artist.
if you have
So
any
there's like a
queries
human
or
interaction,
thoughts, or
a
maybe you want me
heart-to-heart
to
interaction
paint a painting
through
for
the
you.
painting. I believe
Let
that's
me
very
know.
powerful.
Check out my
And so
website.
I
There's
hope
quite a
that
few different things that I'm doing.
that does
I'm
it for
actually
you.
an artist,
And
author,
go to
and a
my
speaker.
website if you'd like more
Thank you for your
information about
time.
me
Bye
and
for
my
now.
services. I'm an artist, author, and a speaker.
Anyway, thanks for
And
listening, and
I
I
also
hope you've
love doing
enjoyed the
commission
painting
artwork.
and
So
that deeper meaning.
check
I
that
love
out.
seeing
Thanks
paintings
for
that
watching today.
speak.
And bye
And
for
so
now.
do contact me if you have any